Good morning, afternoon, and possibly evening to wherever you people are. This is Blackout Gaming, and this is going to be our coverage of the pixeling.tf2.ru LAN number 2. Joining me today in this virtual casting booth is the lovely and wonderful Admirable.
Lovely and wonderful. Those are definitely not two adjectives I'd use to describe the way I feel right now. But yes, we are here, and I'm ready.
I've only managed to get up this early on a Sunday by drinking copious amounts of coffee, so hopefully I'll be able to stay awake for the whole thing. Because, well, it should be pretty awesome.
I had a nice cup of lukewarm tea there. We're here for Hovercrabs versus We Don't Care. I just had a look at TF2 Hovercrabs are essentially 8th in Division 1, bottom of Division 1, and We Don't Care are top number 1 in Division 2A. So if you look at them on the tables view, they're right beside each other, yet in different divisions. Might we see We Don't Care step out above Hovercrabs? I don't know, but we're going to go live anyway, Ryushi.
Yeah, we're going to be... Hovercrabs are on red, and their demo man is going to be Mort, and on blue we're going to be watching Noodles, I think that is, for We Don't Care rolling out. And Mort's going to get there first. He's going to straight up stick up his shit house, and then immediately destroy Shadowburn, who jumps in and nicely plays Sticky Trap, and that's going to give them the first frag and the slight advantage with, as now We Don't Care don't have a Roma or their other soldiers. He gets blown up by Jack jumping across the point, and now Faton and Noodles both going down as well, and that just leaves K-Tech and Duff to just run for their lives. A nice simple middle for Hovercrabs there. They should be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, Shadowburn, the Rumor, sort of giving away a very early frag. His rollout was fast and he was intending to get there quickly, but he just seemed to be shut down by a defensive Mort. Now you're going to see the red team rolling down on middle here. It is Hovercrabs coming from main, and they're going to lead with 2 soldiers, have them Ubered in. They're going to jump up against the heavy, but again, denied a little bit by Shadowburn, who does go down. That's one pick so far from this Uber. There comes another one as Faton goes down to the scattergun of Spicy. It's getting a little bit
Mort's coming
out
from the other side, and he's coming in, he's putting out a lot of damage, and then Sammy with the counter flank, and there we go, that's going to be a first point. Sorry, I just had to interrupt you there as I noticed he was coming in. Also, have you seen Mort's loadout, what he's wearing? That is... I do not understand this Halloween update.
Never apologise for interrupting a caster.
Look at his feet! Good God!
Oh yeah, he's got the unicorn hat. I had that, sold it. I'm a baller.
Not the hat, the feet. It's the feet. He has hooves.
Yeah, the Baphomet.
Oh, good God. Yeah, but Shadowburn not going to give up that first frag yet so far. And Mort's in fact going to take a lot of damage. He's down to 41 HP. Sammy's going to go down, but he gets the frag on Noodles. K-Tech going to be down as well. So, We Don't Care backing out of this. They lose their demo and they just want to say, you know, back out and just be able to defend second. I think it's a nice play by them. Although, Hovercrabs not going to give them much chance. They're already pushing in through the choke area and then straight up into Pride Rock and straight up trying to get time on that point already. Forcing We Don't Care to back out, especially as they lose one of their scouts on the flank.
There comes an overcharge from the balcony, and that allows Gallant to milk his. He's no one to halo. Gallant has held his Uber, but he's found himself at trash with nobody to Uber after. The We Don't Care Uber faded. Gallant can make it out. His ragdoll body will make it as far as Chug, but he will not.
So close as well. A nice surf, but then just got shot out of the sky by a scout, and that loses them 3, and with about a 55% Uber advantage for We Don't Care, who are just going to be content to cap this middle point. Maybe clean up this soldier who's going to be jumping in.
He's taking the eyes, and there's a back cap on as well. Oh, that scout Sid ran onto the point, just touched it in time, got the block, and the back cap has happened. It's gone through, and there's 2 heading onto the last here. It's a 2-on-1 as Faton tries to hold off these red players. He's eating a rocket though on entry. Sammy hits a second, he goes down, and it's going to be 2-0 Hovercrabs. They're pretty quick so far, Ryushi.
Yeah, damn straight. Looking some great team play there by them. Sid just saving that round for them, basically.
I'm going to watch the Shadowburn POV here on this next middle, see what the We Don't Care Roamer can produce to create an opening for his team. It's still Medigun versus Medigun. Always have to check these Russian teams. They love to run crits. Shadowburn, he's going to come pretty quickly up onto the train here. Finds himself being pincered by 2 scouts. Got one in the back, one in the front. He's gone down, and immediately Spicy and Sid focus Faton, and that's 2 players instantly down on this middle as We Don't Care are looking for the exit. They're moving back. Actually, they're staying too close to choke here. They'll be lucky to get the medic out alive, and Mort's going to jump in there and get Duff. That was just disastrous. They had an opportunity to get out there, Ryushi, but they just didn't take it.
It's just unfortunate there. Yeah, and in fact, Mort with the sticky trap onto the last Shadowburn Faton going down, and that's going to be a third round. Mort, both teams, I think, know each other really well. I mean, see, they play in the Russian leagues, they play each other for scrims a lot. So I think Hovercrabs just being able to outplay We Don't Care here by just knowing how they're going to be playing.
Yeah, I'm watching Noodles this time. He's rolled out to balcony, and the opposite number, more actually quite slow, but Noodles drops into Valley. It looks like they want to do a shithouse push here. They're getting in position, but Mort's set up pipe spam. He's gonna get. No, he hasn't got any stickies on the shithouse. They could get through here, but the timing is off. They send in a conga line of players who die one after the other, and it looks like it's going to be another wipe here on middle. Only one player goes down there for Hovercrabs. That was Sammy, but everybody died on the blue team.
That's just just depressing for We Don't Care right there. Just getting absolutely outplayed in everything that they want to be doing.
Well, it is best of 3. Maybe their strategy is to lose Badland and play Metalworks. I understand that's the second map. I have no idea who picked what map, but if you're already 4-0 down, or you're about to be 4-0 down, maybe they're just going to let it go. Here comes the overcharge on main. Pyro gets the deny, but eats a rocket. If a scout was here, he could be finished off pretty quick. He will go down to a sticky from Mort there. 2 down now. Oh, make that 4 down. Big flurry of frags coming in here for Hovercrabs. Noodles, the only man left alive. He's going to get humiliated there with a crit rocket after the point had been capped. That's 4-0, man. And only 6 minutes play.
Yeah, an incredibly quick map that we've basically waited almost an hour to get started, and then suddenly it's only going to take about 6 minutes. Oh, I love lands. But yeah, I mean, Mort taking the valley rollout the balcony rollout this time, sorry, and he's actually going to take quite a bit of damage from the enemy demo man. So that might be really helpful. But once again, We Don't Care giving up that first frag, although they managed to take down the pocket for Hovercrabs, sorry, and then a couple of players going down as well. Sid and Spicy both losing their lives to a nice sticks by Noodles, and in fact, they're actually going to win their first middle of the game.
Yeah, it was a lot better idea there from We Don't Care. Like, Burr went up and died, but what he was achieving was to pin all those players in one position, and you just saw Noodles spamming stickies and pipes up from underneath in the valley there, and did a lot of damage. Was able to chase down a few frags as well. Wanted to go all the way, but his team were just happy to cap the point onto the spire, and we're going to see Mort already has a few sticks set up, so the scouts of We Don't Care need to be careful here. Faton and Kai Tech gotta take this one gingerly. There's gonna be a soldier jumping up there onto the corrugated sheet iron fence. That's Shadowburn. He spot out the stickies. Oh, but he didn't see those ones on the edge. Faton goes down to Mort. That's a big pick when you're defending Spire to get a scout down. It's gonna be Uber versus Uber here, but I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen, Ryushi, because there's action going on back. Scout runs in and forces Kai Tech gets the pop, and this will give Duff an opportunity to milk. Pops pretty much immediately as soon as he sees Mort in his face. They're gonna take that demo man pick and cap Spire.
I think they should really rush forward with this right now. They need to get moving, and they can actually have a chance while Mort's still dead. Because Gallant got out, and I think he's got a slight advantage as well.
Yeah, he's got 10% there.
I think they need to go while Mort's still down. He's only going to be down for like another... In fact, he's just got up now, so perhaps they weren't quite fast enough there. I think if they'd gone in just before the respawns got in, it might have been fast enough. But now they've just got to wait. They're just going to build, and then maybe try and get a frag.
Yeah, they really could have rushed that right-hand side, you know, whether the heals are not there. Would have been a decent play, but equally just sitting back and then building Uber. Even though Gallant has an advantage, the fact that you have this defensive position here from We Don't Care can neutralise that sort of small advantage. I wouldn't expect to see Hovercrabs push on that, especially whenever they're 4-0 up. They don't need to take any risks. They can just sit down and wait for their opponents to push and fail, and then that's what they're hoping for right now, as both teams are jostling for position here. There's going to be a soldier bomb in here. Gallant is positioned very defensively into the spawn, though. He's not even going to risk being forced out. Shadowburn goes down, and that was just an attempt at suicide play. They're only going to risk one there. Very low risk, but potentially high reward, but Gallant's position was too good for Shadowburn there.
Yeah, not going to be able to do much. And in fact, they lose K-Tech to Sid on the flanks, and that might be their signal to retreat right there. Because, you know, there's a soldier taking this position from that sort of right-hand side. He's going to be able to spam some rockets out, but it looks like he's backed out again. Hovercrabs content, you know, they're 4-0 up. They've got 20 minutes left. They're going to be content to just sit back a little bit. And, you know, I mean, even if they lose this round, it's really not a problem to them. They're still going to have a huge advantage. In fact, both Ubers coming in from that top right. A big multi out of Duff right there. And in fact, it's going to be a lot better Uber for Gallant, who chases his soldier down. And the soldier getting really, really far in, trying to get some frags down. He takes down Noodles, not going to be able to chase down. And in fact, he might even get Lan and Burv as well. And he does. And that's going to be a double kill on the combo. Just not as much damage coming out of We Don't Care. And they're just going to run away. Surely. Scout trying to get in on the Great Bridge, and in fact, K-Tech does manage to take down. Is that DM God? I think that's DM God, isn't it?
Soldier.
Yeah, and in fact, he's now dueling with the demo of Moore, but he takes him down with a sticky drop.
I'm not entirely sure who DM God is. I know that he is that player, but as for his team history, I'm slightly unawares. I don't think he's in the current Hovercrabs roster in TF2. Some of these players aren't. Like, they used to play for Hovercrabs and no longer does. But anyway.
He murked for Hovercrabs a couple of times this season. That's who DM God is. He's a freelance player at the moment, according to TF2.
Right. So here comes an Uber from main, an immediate counter pop from Gallant. Duff is making his way back out on main, but already they've lost 2 players, make that 3 players. K-Tech goes down as well. Sammy's going to just bum rush that flank as the roaming soldier. He moves forward and is spotting out the combo. He can see 2 players in front of him, but he knows there's 3 alive. They have to be aware the back cap is a possibility here. They have a player on last. Everything's going to be fine. They get that Spire capped in double time.
I watched Duff run in with the Uber right there. In fact, there's going to be action happening right on mid as Hovercrab's going to push straight away. Mort gets Burv. It's going to be the entry frag that they need and the signal for We Don't Care to back out. They're going to try and put a little bit of spam down, but it's not going to be enough. But yeah, like I said, I watched Duff Uber in on last, and his scout and soldier rushed the point, and then the heavy out of Sid, I think it was, body blocked him, so he couldn't actually click on them to Uber flash them on the point, and they just got wrecked.
That's a horrible feeling. You're like, why isn't this working? Oh,
and in fact, they're going to lose 3 before Duff pops his Uber on Stonebridge. And he's going to be in a terrible position. This demo's surely going to go down. And Burf down as well. And this could be a wipe because Duff's caught out of position. There we go. That's everyone down. 1 second respawn on 3 players, but it's not going to be enough against the 6-man of Hovercrabs as they come straight in. Just a scout at the moment. In fact, he goes down. Sid, maybe a little overextending, but he was just the distraction while Sammy comes in from the bottom right and just caps that point out with that pain train. That's going to be 5-0 on our first map.
Yeah, they got some great momentum going from that sort of field Uber push you were talking about. And the focus fire from then on was just great from Hovercrabs. You saw Burv getting mauled as they tried to come in the middle, like 3 guys rushed him, he was instantly dead. And any chance they had again, a foothold in the map was always dashed by the fact they kept losing players. They couldn't get 6 up, but it was looking pretty bad right from the 6th minute when they were 4-0 down, but their chances of a comeback were just snatched away from them there, man. Heartbreaking.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's alright though, it's alright, they don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's only the first map. It's LAN, everyone's drunk, everyone's going to be having a bit of fun. Sure, they won't mind too much. We go on to our second map, which I believe is Metalworks. Yes, no. Badlands, no?
I heard Metalworks, yeah. And Granary decided.
Metalworks, yeah.
I wish I knew who you'd pick this. I wonder is there any way I can tell who would decide to pick Metalworks? The new map.
Okay.
That Gallant predicts they're going to win the second map in 5 to 9 minutes, so clearly very confident, showing the skill difference between Division 1 and Div 2 here.
Well, I mean, this isn't quite the full Hovercrabs roster, is it?
But they seem to be part of the Hovercrabs wider family, if you will. Like
yeah,
Sid
true.
used to be on the roster, and you say DM God's a regular merc. So they must have
three of their officials.
They got something going on there. Like Gallant and Mort have played a lot of seasons together, and Sammy as well. I think has always been thereabouts in those teams.
Gallant,
Mort
Mort, Sammy,
came
and
up the last
Spicy are
season.
current members. Hamster playing. I thought Hamster was on the roster for Hovercrabs.
I think he's on the
Oh, he's on
3-3-1-4-5
3-3-1-5. Yeah.
with like Diegos and Kroll and those crazy
Okay.
Russians. They're all
GDK. I
Russians.
can't wait to see GDK.
Didn't even see a single crit screen yet in this game. What's going on? This is not Russian TF2.
Should
They
be
only
watching
bring
it.
it out when they're losing.
Should be watching the other match, which has got White Glow, probably the best crits are in EU, and GDK, although they are on different teams. John, you picked the wrong match. What's going on? You want crazy crits plays?
John. The other match started earlier as well. We probably could have seen a little bit of it. But we're here to watch Gallant, you know. He's the man. He's been supplying with us a lot of the information. He's seen a couple of posts from him there on vanilla@tf2.org. I suppose we should shout out a few other Russian sales has been helping us. Dicker, tweet at us. Check out the pixeling_RU. That's their Twitter account. You
Might
can
need to
join
be
them
able
in
to
the
speak
IRC
Russian,
as well. They're #pixeling.ru on QuakeNet if you want to check out what the latest is. And if you look at Vanilla TF2, there's a nice Russian website there with all the details, but it seems to be quite readable if you translate it in Google Chrome or whatever your choice of browser is. Don't mind me, my nose is just running like a tap.
Wait, I think. Oh, okay, yeah. The other match at the moment is. They've just started the first map actually, so it wouldn't have started earlier. And at the moment, it's 1-1 to 1-1 between 3-3-1-5 and Last White Glow standing. And 3-3-1-5 are 1-4-5 are just pushing the last point. In fact,
what map is it?
It's Gillywash at the moment.
Yeah, that was good one I was watching. Very close game, intense.
Yeah, and that's over on the pixeling.ru stream. Down.
We've seen double the rounds in half the time.
Great though, because we're going to be moving straight onto our second map, which is going to be Metalworks, and they've actually got quite a few people in the server. And I think I've got everyone. Everyone's joined. No one's crashed. This is good.
I'm just reading the Twitch chat here. A few people questioning the video lag or whatever. I have no idea what's going on. Could be a Twitch issue. John, can you shed any light on this? Oh, I'm just reading Twitch chat. We're gonna blame the Twitch servers, yeah. Damn you, Twitch. John says it's all fine in his end, so screw you guys. Just blow my nose here, don't worry. Could do it on air if you want.
I'd rather you didn't.
Yeah, this is good casting, you know, silence. Everybody loves that.
Can't think of anything to say.
Is there? Lovely. Can they hear us as well?
Okay. Probably gone to get like a drink or something. That's what I did between games at LAN.
Doing shots of vodka. Because they're in Russia.
Pints of vodka, surely.
Chilled. It's quite palatable, you know, when it's cold. And it's it's good.
You know, if
Polish
you
or
like your
Russian
throat
vodka.
getting burned off.
Nah, but when you drink it like very cold, like from the freezer, yeah, no problem. That's a lot smoother. The premium stuff.
Oh yeah, premium stuff. That's what it is. I see. proving you're not poor, Admirable. Is that what it is?
I mean, in Russia they have some quality vodkas, in Poland as well. Not like the sort of stuff we have here in the UK. Maybe some of the Russians in the Twitch chat can enlighten us. But I live with a few Polish guys in the past, and they drink vodka like it's water. But because it's very cold, it goes down easy. That's my experience, at least, Ryushi. Go and stick a bottle in the freezer right now. You won't regret it.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Have a
I'll
report
back. Report back later.
Irish Tornadoes 21101 saying Irish vodka is star. I'm gonna assume that shit. Or great. Garbage, piss water, paint thinner. Depends if you get the, Tesco value or not. That wouldn't exactly be premium stuff.
I've just tuned back into the other match, and it looks like last White Glow standing went from defending the last to actually pushing out and getting the third round, so it made it 2-1. And now once again they're defending their last again, and they're going to be pushing out and getting a fourth round. That's pretty good game from them.
Congratulations.
I think we're just waiting on Gallant now, but he's just joined the team, so hopefully we can actually switch back into the match, John, and let's see what we can do. Turn the visualizer off.
Oh, I heard one team ready up. Don't get too excited though. I'm checking out all the costumes. I like the zombies. The souls are good. That's what I've been wearing.
Yeah, right through the middle, sort of like that destroyed spine. That's great. I like it.
Spent a fortune on keys. But I haven't created an unusual, but we're gonna go live.
Yeah, they have gone live. So John, overlay off. Let's go. Man up. Let's take this round. Go on. We don't care. We're gonna be, they're gonna be coming to this. They're like, yeah, they've got the mindset that they can take this. They're gonna be happy with it. I think they can.
Mort is fast. Just puts 3 stickies down on that lower door to buy some time for his team. And Spicy tries to shut down Shadowburn on the right hand side on the red perspective, but he gets destroyed. Shadowburn doing work there, and it looks like the position is favourable here for We Don't Care, but now they're finding themselves outmanned in this current fight. A few of their players were behind in the lobby. They come in, but it's already slipping away from them as they find themselves at a man disadvantage. The respawns will come in slightly faster though for We Don't Care if they can get into this. The Uber did come out there from Gallant though, and Duff managed to juke away. And he's got 90% right now. There's going to be a re-push here onto middle. Will they wait for the full 6 players, or will they go 4? That's my question, Ryushi.
I think they'll wait. I mean, Shadowburn's only 5 seconds away, and they've got plenty of time with Gallant only being on 30%. So I think they've got time to wait. They can take it a bit slower. And in fact, both scouts are about to get a pick on this alley version, but Faton and Katic both going down, absolutely baited out by Space and Spicy. He went down, but he allowed DM God to just come in and get a double frag onto both scouts. And in fact, Hovercrabs are now pushing. They've lost a couple of players, but they're trying to pop that Uber out of Duff, and they do get it. Duff in a useless position for that Uber. They get Sammy, but Mort, Gallant, and Sid are all going to be back at middle, going to be able to defend this relatively easily, because of course now they have huge Uber advantage.
Yeah, Sammy really used that distraction well of the action going on in the alley, and it must have been called that the Hovercrabs combo was there. Everybody was looking that side, then he bombed in, got that force. Here comes Gallant with an Uber. He's going to bring in 2 scouts because he wants to chase down frags here. He's going to find Noodles, and they peek into this tunnel of death here. They're thinking about continuing. Oh, they're going to keep going. They see a soldier separated down below as well. Sid chases down Shadowburn, whilst Spicy and Mort drop down below but get cleaned up by Katic and Faton, who now pushes directly onto Gallant but gets shut down by the shotgun there from DM God. Big air shot to deny the bomb in from Burv as well. Sammy and DM God doing work there for Hovercrabs, protecting Gallant. He's got to feel very special right now. So loved.
Yeah, it's nice when when everyone wants to defend you rather than just jump in. But it's basically just reset the positions. Duff's got a slight Uber advantage, and he's defending his second. And in fact, Hovercrabs again getting really aggressive through that alleyway. They've backed out now, but their combos once again looking to push in. They've got both soldiers and the medic. They're taking a bit of demo spam, but maybe a double Uber Solly bomb straight out of that alley to really get aggressive, really just force or even drop Duff, who's actually stood on point right now and is perhaps not the best position for him to be in, because he can get really caught by spam there if the Solis do jump in.
Yeah, this is a nice spot where they're coming from as well. Pushing from the valley, as soldier is a bit of a blind line of sight there in terms of the defender's perspective. You can skip jump high off the wall or just jump in from over the little fence. They did go in, but didn't really cover the distance well enough to do any damage. They've lost Pocket Soldier, DM got also Spicy earlier to Shadow Burn on that flank. They do get the foresight though, but they've lost 2 players. I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to block this one. DM God spawning now, and they have 4 here. They're going to pop that charge off, and Sid gets a frag onto Burr, who managed to take down Sammy as well. And even though they've defended middle here, they have sort of given away that Uber advantage, but it probably won't even matter because they're just cleaning up frags here, as we don't care throw players into this red meat grind that is Spike and Sid. They are just shredding everybody. Comes Phaeton trying to get that medic picked down to 2 HP. Will he another scatter shot there from Sid and Spicy, and Sid just did serious work there to gain territory for their team.
Just watching the play between those two is really well. Even though they're not actually playing together as a team this season, they just had the perfect teamwork together. They lose both scouts coming into this point, and that's going to make it a lot harder, especially as everyone's jumping the point. There's only a demo up fend right now, and that's not going to be it. Hovercrab's going to take this first round.
Yeah, and it looks like Gallant's prediction of 5 to 9 minutes is still a possibility. 5 minutes played on the clock here. Gives him 4 minutes, 4 rounds to live up to his big talk. Onto this middle out, I'm going to check out the Noodles perspective. He's going to roll up high and gets pre-fired by a sticky from Mort. He's just lost his buff for a little bit of his health, but now he's going to get bombed in by Sammy, who is taken out of the picture by Phaeton. Nice protection there off his demo man, but meanwhile Spicy and DM God pick up Burva and Shadow Burn up there. And again, a rather lackluster middle here from We Don't Care. Oh, they're getting chased out in the valley as well. The demo man is reloading. Spicy is going to take out Duff when Noodles just twiddles his thumbs there. He's like, oh. He's also been flanked as well. Mort's got 4 stickies waiting for him at alley, jeez.
Oh wow, that was such great play. And Noodles got like bumped around by his own sticky and ended up like facing into alley where he expected his medic to be, and it just wasn't. Duff was just trapped out behind him by the scout. It's just so depressing. Like you turn around like, where's my medic? Oh shit, he's dead. And now Hovercrabs going to be taking this second point and looking to push last. They even get the entry frag onto that roamer, so that's going to be a 13-second respawn, although quite a lot of players are injured for Hovercrabs, so they might want to wait a bit before they get some health back.
Yeah, Shadowburn got the foresight there onto Gallant, and now Duff has a little bit of an advantage. They could push here if they built, but look at the position here from Sammy. He's going to hide up in the little wooden crate here. A little bait play going on between him and Sid, but Sid just gets out of there. And if anybody peeks, if a scout peeks on that left side, they might find trouble. Burv's going to look in, pre-fires a rocket onto Sammy, but it hits the wall behind him, doesn't do that much damage. Sid runs in and cleans up Burv, then finds Shadowburn as the roaming heavy weapons guy. He's getting a lot of heals here as well, but it's not enough to keep him up against those sticky after sticky in the face from Mort. And it's Iber versus Iber, but a man advantage, Ryushi. They're
going to run in with the double soldier, and it's going to be great because there's no heavy, but one of the soldiers gets air shot by, I think it was a pipe, and both Ubers are now going to be popped all on the point. Everything exploding all over the point. Mort take Kitek, but it looks like it might even be enough as the frag's coming out in favour of We Don't Care at the moment, although Sammy trying to pick up those chasing frags. If they chase We Don't Care, might lose more players, and then they might lose that second point. Everyone's quite lit on Hovercrabs, and they really... it's a bit dangerous, especially as that scout's just coming in that left side. They're just going to be content to sit back and just wait a moment and wait for their spawns.
It seemed like a bit of a hurried push from Hovercrabs. They really wanted to use the fact they'd got 2 players down, but Mort was on 6 HP, having killed that heavy, and Gallant didn't have time to heal him, so he was basically not involved in that last push at all after he got those 2 picks on the right. But if they'd stopped for a second or two just to give him enough health to come in, might have been different. But now they find We Don't Care pushing out against them. Sid goes down to Kitek in a one-on-one on the flanks, but Spicy's going to go in and avenge him and tries to do work and take out Shadowburn, but he's done enough just to keep the scout back. He comes in for the second push, having picked up that lunchbox underneath, and he's forcing Shadowburn back. Meanwhile, the defense comes in on the point. How did they manage to hold on to that?
I have absolutely no idea. Sammy really playing balls to the wall right there. He went down to about 40 health, and in fact, he's going to take the Uber as he jumps in. This heavy going to be completely ignoring him, going to be allowed to put a bit of damage down, but both soldiers going to be down for Hovercrabs right now. They get the Uber out of We Don't Care, but they lose so many players. Mort and Spicy just respawning, and Mort down as well. And surely they can push this right now. We Don't Care. Need to be getting out. Yeah, they're coming straight out onto this bridge, focused on getting rid of those players first. Spicy going to be going down, and they're just going to be able to, with that already half capped point, just take that really easily, and then even continue pushing with their slight Uber advantage.
They really should. That was a dumb death there from Spicy. He just wasn't paying attention to what the rest of his team were doing. As Sid and Gallant backed out, he just ran in and died. And if We Don't Care play this right, they can make something happen, but they just lost Duff now. They really have to just go balls to the wall or get the hell out of there. They're just coming in with 4 onto these 3 combat classes you see on middle. They've done a lot of damage onto the demo of Mort, but he's just getting healed up right now, and the medic disadvantage is showing here. No heals on this middle, and there's an overcharge about to come in from Mort and Gallant. They might be able to clean up here with a little help from Spicy as well. He's down to 50. There's a flank going on here by K-Tech, but he gets shut down by Sid, and Gallant just muscles and pushes out the We Don't Care team without even popping off Zibber. They're just terrified.
Yeah, but in fact, it looks like Spicy once again going to be getting a little bit over-aggressive. He meets back with this combo. Faton trying to jump in, trying to get down onto Gallant, but he's not going to be enough. Doesn't even get the force out. Gallant holding on to that Uber, even in the face of a scout. That's going to be great. Noodle's going down as well, and they're just going to be able to muscle this point once again without losing any players. I say that, and then Sid goes down.
Yeah, Sid runs straight ahead with 13 HP. He thought he was on some sort of bloodlust kill streak there. Went straight in for another one. And the Uber comes in here, but they've Ubered in with 3 against 3, so it's pretty much even fight. And they're fighting 2 targets on 2 sides. Mort goes down. Didn't have the Uber charge there, but it looks like DM God and Spicy are going to be able to shore up things and secure the point there for the red team.
Well, this 9-minute boost out of Gallant is definitely not going to be happening, as it's been 11.5 minutes right now, and we're going to be straight onto our 3rd round. Hovercrabs looking, you know, they're still looking strong, but they're not as strong as they were on this map as compared to Badlands, if that makes sense. So, you know, still a good chance for We Don't Care. They're getting some good pushes out of this, and they're keeping their medic alive, so their mids are quite a lot better as well. Sammy's going to be jumping in on that right side, trying to clean up this scout and soldier, but he gets taken down. Sorry, that's DM God. And in fact, Hovercrabs really trapped out at choke right now. If they can get some spam right onto them, they're going to be easily able to take them down. Gallant taking quite a bit of splash damage right there, and he's going to have to back out. Sammy goes down. Both soldiers down for Hovercrabs right now, and ooh, there we go. Spicy, Sid coming in right there, cleaning up players. Noodles, Verv, and K-Tech going down completely. Duff down as well. Shadowburn trying to clean up those scouts, and in fact might be able to. They do in fact win this. I got really confused there.
It was sort of strange to watch because for so long the scouts of Hovercrabs just defended and defended, played around their demo man, and then. Take over for a minute here.
Okay. Yeah, it was a little strange, but it does leave Gallant on 100% advantage, and he should be able to re-push with this. And in fact, they're coming straight down that corridor of death, and then into the lower lobby, where Shadowburn jumps in from behind and forces the early Uber out of Gallant, and he's now wasted almost the entire Uber. And in fact, Spicy goes down as well. So Duff, who's holding back, and in fact may even be able to pick up Mort here, who's in a dangerous position. Sammy and Sid both are going to be going down. Bird's down as well, but Mort is so lit right now. He's on 80 health. There's a scout fighting Gallant on point. In fact, yeah, that's almost a complete wipe for Hovercrabs right there. But DM God going to be trying to get in. Spice is the only one up, and he is stuck in alley at the moment. trying to defend this second point by himself. In fact, looks like he wants to go for the flank onto Duff, and he might be able to find him as he's coming in straight behind him. He's going to put down the first damage, and he forces the Uber out of Duff, and that's going to be really, really useful for his team. But Duff's still going to be able to push forward with his team, with that Uber, and take that second point. And in fact, they're rushing straight to last. They're going to ignore the fact that Spicy's behind them, and they're going to go straight in on last. There's only a demo man at the moment with his Medic and Soldier. The Heavy's just spawned, and in fact, Noodles goes down there. That's not good. For We Don't Care. They're now in a dangerous position as they've lost their demo man, and they don't even have Uber advantage as well, and they can. They're heavy on blast, so they can't backcap easily either. Hovercrabs going to take this right now. They're going to be pushing out. They're going to be sitting on that point, trying to get that ×3. Maybe push through alleyway right now. Yeah, more leading the way with his unicorn horn and his hooves of death.
I wanted to make some awkward joke about spicy noodles, but you know, my brain's not functioning at full capacity right now. Just had to deal with my little nephew coming in there.
Okay.
Had to body slam him.
Yeah, of course. That's what they do.
Oh man.
Yeah. So a nice push out of We Don't Care, and in fact they're getting aggressive through this alleyway side. They want to take their demo and their soldier in right now. Try and get some damage down. Hovercrabs taking a lot more. It's in fact going to be the first casualty, and that's with no demo, no main damage dealer for Hovercrabs. But they get both Ubers forced out right now. Blue just using theirs to retreat. We Don't Care. They're going to pick up a scout on the retreat, but DM God chases with that Uber, takes down Duff and Burv. In fact, they lose that combo for We Don't Care, and that's they don't want that. But the scouts and demo still trying to come in. They might even pick up the soldier here on this alleyway, but with the other soldier coming in and the flank by Spicy, it's just going to be a triple kill for Hovercrabs as they push straight onto middle.
Yeah, I like the way the Hovercrabs soldier player sort of went in and got those frags and then backed out a little bit. Almost beat it out the rest of those We Don't Care players to just jump in and made it a pretty effective cleanup there. Now they're continuing to have this Uber advantage and a man advantage. They're going to cap middle and they can begin to move forward. They will want to push fairly promptly. There is only a 40% difference now. The clock is ticking down on their window of opportunity. They're working their way forward here, making the check for sticky traps quite methodical. Now they see the spam coming in and they will pop off that charge. And this is pretty much what We Don't Care were hoping for. They've managed to evade that back off. DM God will go down to a scout there of Faton, who also gets more. 2 big picks there for Faton, but 3 of his team are down. It'll be unwise for them to push here. They really need to try and just hold on for dear life here until these spawns come in, but it's 2 seconds before Noodles and Burv are back on the scene. Uber, it will be popped out from Duff. Nothing else he could do there. Had to pop off to make sure that his team held on to that last point. Shadowburn gets Sid, but Spicy picks up Faton, who tried to push out there and chase down some frags.
In fact, the Solian deck coming out of that main shutter door into that lobby area, they're trying to get aggressive with this. They know they need to. They're 2-0 down at the moment, but K-Tech, Burv, and in fact, Noodles might even get trapped out here, but no, he manages to get back with his demo. But the soldier coming in right now of DM God, sorry. Uber gets forced on him. He's just going to try and stand on point and try and get some time out. And in fact, they might even do this. The stick's on point from Mort, so anyone trying to jump on that point to defend is going to get blown up, and there we go. That's going to be Faton down, but We Don't Care. Really trying to defend this. They've whipped out the heavy. In fact, no, that's not them. It's Sid coming out with the heavy, with that horrible hairdo, trying to put some damage down onto everyone, and in fact, he's going to take down Noodles. The Uber gets popped out of Duff to save the point right there. I don't know how he managed to get that so fast, because I'm pretty sure he only just Ubered. Did he get some... He must have got sort of saws there. I didn't see him get them, but to get it again so quickly.
I don't know, it was a pretty long engagement. They've just gone. I'm just digging that heavy hairstyle. Love the tash as well. I'm making notes here on what I need to get. It's called the Carl. Yes, I must get this. I also just uncreated a Macho Man, the shades and mustache, but there's an Uber coming in here. Forget about my TF2 fashion exploits. As Hovercrabs just come in and stack the point. They do pick up 3 frags before they actually got that, but it seemed like We Don't Care just didn't care about the point, man. They really don't care.
Not really the best sort of attitude to have in this sort of point-based game. caring about the point. But, you know, maybe it's other things they don't care about. Maybe they just got
Points win prizes,
focused
man.
by the fact that that Heavy had terrible hair and they just wanted to kill him. But we're going to be watching this fourth middle right now, and Spicy and Sid, you know, they're sitting back, they're doing that sort of defensive thing, and then they come in with the cleanup. They take down Noodles and K-Tech, and that's going to be the two big players for We Don't Care on middles. And with those two down, in fact, the Solly coming in right now, is he actually going to force the Uber out of Duff? He's not, because Duff does not have it at the moment. Spicy's going to be going down. Hovercrabs content to just retreat with this. They lose their demo and their scout. Sorry, yeah, they're both scouts. Sorry. We Don't Care pushing through this. Oh God, Jesus Christ! I can't remember any names of anything today. Ridiculous.
This is
Pushing
how it
through
works.
this corridor of death. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name. Corridor of
Everything
death.
looks
Come on,
like
it's not that
a
hard.
corridor or a lobby.
Pushing through death corridor, and the Uber gets forced out of Duff. He pushes in with that Solly and a demo, flashing that about. Shadowburn takes down Sammy, I think, but he gets fragged in return. But Sid going down as well. In fact, now there's a soldier in the corridor. Maybe going to get spammed out here, but no, he's pushing straight forward. He actually might be able to get onto the demo of Noodles, who's trapped out in that area, and Duff's the only one up, and he's running away.
Rightly so, he's using his sixth medic sense to realise that everybody in his team is dead. He pressed his tab key, and oh, I think Mort knows that somebody's hiding in spawn. He's got 4 stickies on that door, and he saw the door open just a little bit, and then it closed. Am I lagging? What the hell's going on here? A little bit, maybe, but those players that were hiding in spawn have spawned back. They realised Mort was well in control of that second CP, and We Don't Care are back holding their last again, a very familiar situation, and against an uber disadvantage, as we've seen again. Here they go. Looks like Hovercrabs are going to come in slightly blindside them there. They've got a good position to uber in on, and they've isolated one soldier on the right. That will be Shadowburn going down. Now they have an opportunity to clean up Verve, and Noodles on the floor. Noodles goes down. Kitek gets DM God in the lobby. Also gets Gallant with a little flank play there, and he might have just clutched it for his team there. Nice defense with the scout of Kitek busting the flank open, picking up 2. Meanwhile, oh, Spicy's going in trying to get that medic frag, gets the drop onto Duff, and you have to appreciate Duff's situation there. There was no way he was going to Uber in a million years to one scout against like 3-4 blue players. He perfectly within his rights to drop Uber there, and a real clanger dropped by his team. How did they not kill that so Spicy in time? Wow.
Yeah, in fact, We Don't Care again. They might even get forced out here. They're all really, really lit, and Duff's only just got up on last. They're holding onto this second point, but barely. As Gallant, of course, with that 65% advantage, he's going to want to push in as soon as he thinks he's able to get it in time. And with everyone still pretty damaged. I mean, Noodles is only on 90 HP, and that's not a position you want your demo to be in. Although they're getting crit heals now, so everyone's buffed on We Don't Care, and that's a really good position for them.
Yeah, they've shown they've got 2 players here in the alley, and Spicy is calling that out, communicating to his team. Those are 2 easy frags that Hovercrabs could take if they want to push here. I think they're uncertain about the Uber situation. I don't think they realised what advantage they have, even though they killed Duff and they could have watched him respawn. They didn't seem to be confident about the time they had there, or just didn't want to push because they went in 3-0 and want to play that defender's advantage. They're going to sit back here with 8 minutes left on the clock and just wait for the penny to drop here for We Don't Care. They're going to soon figure out that, wow, Hovercrabs aren't pushing, it's time for us to make the action happen. Sammy's going to jump in here, he's dodging around on the little wall, lands 1 rocket onto Duff, and there's a scout of Sid just hiding up on that little half roof there in the alley area waiting to jump around. He got spotted out though, ate a rocket and ran back to middle for health. Meanwhile, you're going to see Mort pretty much holding alone here in middle. Eats a little bit of Halloween spell damage there, coloured explosions. I think those are the potions from last year. Uber gets popped off here, but Sid has dropped, so it's a pretty decent situation here for We Don't Care if they do want to continue with the push. But it looks like Noodles is going to be left to die there, hung out to dry like old washing, man, and it's turned into a 3-on-3 here, Ryushi.
Yeah, Mort's going to be up, but Duff with that, heal advantage should hopefully be able to survive, but K-Tech goes down, he overextends a little bit straight into Mort's sticky trap. Shadowburn's down as well, and Duff once again finds himself running away by himself, getting chased down by, I think, a scout and a demo.
Wish more people had committed. With Noodles there, sure he probably would have died anyway, but they might have been able to follow up on his damage, but his medic just left him to die, and nobody wanted to continue the push, even though it was like pretty much a 50-50 situation, and they don't seem to be getting much better odds than that in most of their engagements. I would have taken it, I would have gone in there, tried to make a play, but as it stands, Duff did survive. And he's going to build up a little 15% Uber advantage. It'll be a tough one to make pay unless the positioning from Hovercrabs is bad, but they've already picked up a frag onto Burv, so they're going to be wanting to push forward here. It will be Gallant just getting his Uber. Oh, Mort lands a magic pipe there onto Noodles. You just walked forward directly into it, and that is just going to make it so much easier for Gallant and Co to push in here onto last. They have popped off the Uber, and it's an exchange. Both medics going to use those invulnerabilities, and Gallant's looking for the door here. He will survive on 75 HP, and both teams will gear up for a second wave of this push, but already you're going to see We Don't Care making tracks through that lobby. Both scouts pushing up on the left side on their perspective, while the combo moves forward through the main entrance from that lobby area. Mort gets isolated, although he does get a frag onto Burv. The scouts made short work of him, but the continuation of that push, Burv goes down to Mort. Kai-Tech goes down as well to Sammy, and a spy was in the pin there. What happened, Ryushi?
Oh, Sid just, it was a beautiful surf by Duff. He surfed out, turned around just to see what was going on, and Sid just backstabs him out of nowhere at the end of that surf, and then went on to get a revolver kill onto the demo, and that takes it to 4-0 for Hovercrabs. It's a beautiful spy play by Sid there. Really, really good. Wow.
Oh, we're going to go to another middle, and even though We Don't Care have lost 9 rounds back to back, they still haven't decided to go crits or really change much up on their middle. They seem confident that now is the time. You're going to see a skip jump there, a high double jump from Sammy into the blue lobby, picks up their kit, and comes back out to fight a scout. Phaeton thinks it's a good idea to fight soldiers in corridors. No! He's going to go down, but Noodles cleans up Sammy, and it looks like actually his team will be able to secure the middle. And there's 5 minutes left on the clock. It is technically possible, mathematically a reality, that they could get back into this if they can string together a few good pushes, Ryushi.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Gallant at the moment doesn't quite have his Uber. He's on 20% disadvantage, so if they can really cap this point quickly and then just rush straight into last, they might even be able to catch him with his pants down, but no, he's just picked up 100%. They're turtling hard right now. Sid's got NG and Spicy's on heavy. So they... Spicy actually running the that chocolate thing to give him an extra 50 health without that buff. And in fact, a couple of players going down for We Don't Care right now. They lose their demo and their Roma, but they get both soldier frags for compensation of Sammy and the M-God. So I don't think Hovercrabs can really push out here. Mort's maybe trying to get a little bit into lobby. Spicy gets fat on. Spicy gets fat on. Wow, that's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Fat on gets shat on by Spicy. Takes another 1v1 against him and sucks out. But you know, this is all good for Hovercrabs, man. They haven't had an opportunity to push out again from last, but as the clock ticks down, it just comes closer and closer to their victory. There is a soldier hiding forward. Sammy is forward for Hovercrabs. Door opens, he watches Burv go by. He's playing the long con here. He's going to wait and wait. Now he's going to lands 1 rocket, 2 rockets, 3 rockets. Picks up Burv, and now he's kind of trying to get one onto Shadowburn as well. Oh, manages to dodge the little bit of explosion there, but Shadowburn reloads and pops off a fatal rocket into Sammy. Shadowburn very weak though. He could get cleaned up by these scouts who seem intent to push forward. Sid goes in and gets Phaeton and K-Tech, then goes down to a sticky trap from Noodles. But every time they trade, that just makes it harder and harder for We Don't Care to push. They want to be coming in here with the full complement of 6 players, but that's only just become a reality for them as the respawns come in. And they're going to use a sniper. Phaeton is going to bring out the scope to see if he can get that headshot onto Gallant, maybe even the heavy.
Yeah, they're going to be wanting just that compensatory one round, just to say that, you know, we took a round. Oh my god, that Uber getting completely denied by the heavy of Spicy. He held that soldier in the air for so long. In fact, Phaeton does get that headshot onto Spicy. That could be that. This could finally be a round for We Don't Care, but they're losing so many players as they bleed them into the point. Phaeton trying to get headshots, but he's missing everything. The demo's going to jump in out of Noodles. He gets killed by Mort. And it's not going to be enough. We Don't Care close, but no cigar as they jump in again. They jump in the soldier and Shadowburn's trying to get some frags. He does get 2, in fact. And in fact, might even be enough here. Phaeton takes down Gallant. There's only a scout and a demo left. But no, Shadowburn gets shut down. Phaeton's the only one up. Is he going to be able to get a double kill? I don't think he will. No, Mort's going to take him down.
Nothing but body shots there from Phaeton. Didn't really produce the goods as snipers. Sure, it was a gamble, but didn't pay off.
He got 3 frags, I think.
Body shots, boo.
Oh.
Headshots, or you're doing it wrong.
Okay, I see.
I would have liked to see them use the sniper before they Ubered in, but they just chose to go in with the Uber and then snipe afterwards. Either way, he didn't do enough to carry his team to victory as the clock goes to 1 minute and 20 seconds. It's a 4-0 advantage here for Gallant's Hovercrabs, and they are looking very likely to be going through to the next round, to the grand final.
Yeah, definitely. That's not going to be for another 2 or 3 hours, though. We're going to have the bronze match, which will... We Don't Care, and whoever loses the other match going on. And I'll tell you the results after this match is finished. There's a sentry set up on last. It's level 2, almost going to be level 3. The crits, did I see crits? No, it's just going to be the Uber right now. Sentry doing a lot of work, trying to deny people off the point that both Ubers are going to be coming out. The sentry's finally going down. Phaeton does get 2 headshots right there. So, you know, he's actually doing work for his team, and in fact, that might even be a final point for We Don't Care. Yes, they're going to take it a 4-1. This is going to be their only round for this entire match, and that's going to be GG.
Yeah, they're happy. They finally got a round on the board. They feel like champions. That's a saving grace for them there, you know, that they've managed to regain a little bit of face, I guess. They got a round on the board.
Well, it's better than getting 5-0, 4-0, you know? It's better than getting completely rolled. If you got a round, then it wasn't a complete roll. That's what you got to tell yourself.
Exactly. They were just getting warmed up there, man. They didn't realise the actual game had started. They thought this was like Soap DM or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
TF2 lobby.
That's what all high div teams use for warm up, isn't it?
Oh man, I played some late night Highlander lobbies